Hi, this is Cheryl Gallant, your Conservative Member of Parliament for the fiscally prudent riding of Algonquin, Renfrew-Pembroke. Yesterday, around 9:30 a.m., a pickup truck collided with a truck transporting fuel on Highway 17 near Petawawa. Both eastbound and westbound traffic at this point on the Trans-Canada Highway ground to a halt. At 11:06 a.m., the OPP put out a message on social media stating the eastbound traffic could detour at Brindle Road and the westbound could detour at Paquette. Hundreds of motorists were trapped on the highway by this time. At 12:56 p.m., the OPP announced the detours were unavailable and people should avoid the area. At 3:59 p.m., OPP announced a detour had been opened along Messer Trail. Paquette Road is the major artery onto and off base Petawawa. The situation speaks to the lack of importance placed not just on the military, but emergency preparedness as well by this Liberal government. Over the last 10 years, we were hard-pressed to get any new military equipment out of the Liberals. The former Prime Minister was fixated on projecting his toxic masculinity onto the troops to draw the negative attention away from himself. Trudeau adopted a non-lethal ethos, leaving procurements to military ambulances and non-gender specific uniforms, for example, instead of firepower. He failed to provide a garage for the fleet of ambulances, but that was par for the course with him. The choke point between the Paquette Road and Chalk River intersections along the Trans-Canada Highway has long been a point of concern. Back when Mayor Vance Goudsman was in office, he tried in vain to improve an existing parallel road to serve as an alternate means of egress through the township of Laurentian Hills. This part of the Ottawa Valley is no stranger to wildfires. Earlier this year, a winter storm left people stranded along that stretch as well. The situation we must plan for is the urgent deployment of military personnel with their equipment. Aside from the exit blocked yesterday, there was just the bridge off the base across the Petawawa River parallel to the Trans-Canada Highway they could have used. The NATO defense ministers are meeting in Brussels right now. Reportedly, the new minimum military spending floor for each member country will go up to 5% from 2%. 3.5% is to be allotted toward hard assets, while the remaining 1.5% may go towards soft assets such as cybersecurity and infrastructure. It's possible the necessary infrastructure to eliminate the choke point at the bridge may count towards the new NATO contribution minimum. Canada is second from the bottom when it comes to NATO spending. The Liberals have introduced their first piece of legislation, C2. It's a super snooper law. It greatly expands the type of information the police can access with or without a warrant. This includes your internet browsing history, your search history, and your social media activity. But this isn't just about the digital world, and it isn't restricted to the police. The law would even make it legal for Canada Post employees to open up your mail. Canada Post is broke. The Christmas strike turned even more people off using mail. The Postal Union and management still haven't reached a deal. If another strike doesn't put the nail in Canada Post's coffin, the knowledge that postal workers are reading your letters might do it. On Monday night, the Liberals lost their first vote in the minority parliament. It was not a confidence vote, but the House did urge Carney to present a budget this spring. Now, the Liberals and their media allies are trying to claim a budget is not important. They claim this because the government has tabled its spending estimates, and Canadians therefore have all the information they need. It's not surprising that they would make this ridiculous claim. For Liberals and their media allies, all they care about is spending. They don't want Canadians to think about the other side of the ledger. A federal budget contains the government's spending plans, their taxation plans, and their borrowing plans. We can see from the Liberal spending plans, they've already broken their promise to limit increases to 2%. Instead, they have increased it by 8%, 4 times as much. That means they will have to increase taxes and/or increase borrowing. If they want to increase borrowing, they will have to sell debt in the form of bonds. Last week, Japan had trouble finding buyers for its 30-year bonds. When this happens, a country has to offer higher interest rates. That means more of your tax money goes towards interest payments. We already pay more in interest on the national debt than we do on health care. That leaves less money for defense and public safety. The people who will benefit are the ultra-wealthy bankers who buy up these bonds. People like Mark Carney's former colleagues at Morgan Stanley. Maybe this is why Mark Carney has spent so little time in question period so far. Following the election, where our party received the largest share of the vote since 1988 and won 21 new seats, I started getting emails from reporters. They were looking for anonymous sources to complain about our leader. Those reporters searched in vain. They came up empty. While our party didn't win the most seats, our future looks bright. The Liberals did win the most seats, but their future looks bleak. Many Liberal MPs, first elected in 2015, are upset they'll never make it into cabinet. They are giving anonymous quotes to reporters about a growing caucus revolt already. Take a listen to this quote a Liberal MP gave to a Hill Times reporter.
I'm just so sick and tired of this party, all being about people putting in their own friends. I really am. I'm like, really, after all these years, you guys kicked me in the teeth every step of the way. And now I have to relive this again. It's astounding. I was hoping this was going to be a reset, and I'm like, really, here we go again. Same reality. Liberal insiders putting in their own friends. Come on. I thought this was supposed to be about meritocracy. I have never made a stink about anything, but now it's enough. Mark Carney was supposed to be different than Justin Trudeau. I'm so disgusted. Over all these years, I was like, chin up, don't worry, think long term. But now I think nothing ever changes with this party.
Nothing ever changes with this party. That was exactly what Conservatives said about the Liberals during the last election. It's all about who you know in the PMO. That's great news for friends of David Lametti. He was the shameless former Justice Minister Trudeau used to replace Jody Wilson-Raybould. He's the same radical left-wing Liberal minister who pushed for children and the disabled to be offered assisted suicide. It's the same David Lametti who, as Justice Minister, urged the public safety minister to send in the tanks to crush protesters. Now, he's the man Mark Carney chose to make his principal secretary. This is the exact same job Gerald Butts held in Trudeau's office. That is, until Butts was forced to resign in disgrace for his role in pushing out Judy Wilson-Raybould when she would not obstruct justice at Trudeau's command. Carney has surrounded himself in exactly the same ethically challenged and incompetent Liberals way that Trudeau used. Now, we learn that it's not just the opposition that's worried about Carney's decisions. Many in the Liberal Party share our concerns. There's even talk of a number of these Liberal MPs resigning shortly. We can only speculate as to who the first Liberal MP to jump ship will be, but let me know your guess in the comments below and why you think it'll be Bill Blair.